That's pretty significant, though. Looks like you got some sun today, too, girl.
Me?
Pink cheeks. Okay.
So I think that's just my allergy. That probably means I was gluten, is really what it really means.
Okay. Well, whatever.
Yeah. Okay, I'm always red.
Welcome, everyone. It is Sunday night, April the 7th, and we are doing our powwow to figure out our next steps for our Destination Disney training. Nicole Harris is unable to be with us tonight because she had a late show today. And so I wanted to present to you guys kind of what I put together. I actually had a lot of input from Kara, and thank you so much, Kara. She went through and analyzed the Boost Your Business, the 6 Weeks to Success, Director Bound, and Rev Up Your Recruiting, and put kind of the content of all of those together and made a suggestion, and I took from that. And I squished some of them together, and you'll see that, Kara, when we get through. But anyway, what I want to do is go ahead and screen share and show you guys what I have in mind. And then the thing I sent y'all, did y'all print that out or no? Everybody print it out? The schedule? If you did.
The schedule, yes.
Well, is it multiple versions on the same thing? Because I've got like repeating dates and repeating names. So I'm not sure.
It's two sets of dates on the same page, but it's the first half, second half of the call. So it should be two columns on landscape version.
Oh, that makes sense.
Okay, so here's what I wanted to start off with, if it's okay with you guys, was to use a format of the Get the More You're Looking For that we used a number of years ago that told people about directorship. But before, let me just go to screen share because that's going to show you a bigger version of this. But instead of it just being all about directorship, to focus first on growing your business, let them do a report card of their own business. How are they doing on each of these things so that they can kind of share with us and kind of make note of where they feel like that their strengths and their weaknesses are, looking at their show schedule, their show attendance, their average order, their overall income commission checks for the month, and their recruits and team building efforts. And so that kind of would give a snapshot, and you know, we might want to follow it and have them do like a Google form type survey thing for them to fill out for us, or maybe we could do a poll on the, you know, I don't know if we want to, if we have them do the survey, it will be private, and that way they can really feel very comfortable with telling us what it is. It'll all come to mine if I set that up, or whoever sets it up, and then we'll just take that on an Excel spreadsheet and share it with each other so that we can kind of look at the whole group and then our people as you know, as a whole as well. Does that sound okay to be able to get that information? And I'll show you a little bit more of what, you know, kind of I have in mind for that. Any comments about that?
Who are we inviting to this? People who have already done
more.
Okay.
Yeah, because I mean, it's like all the people we've added, they've got to go somewhere, and so this will let them jump in and get started. And if they're interested in just really growing their business and getting a good strong start, that's great. But if they say, hey, I want fast track, they can do both halves. We talked last week about doing the calls on Wednesday evenings at start, and we were looking, Nicole and I talked today, and we were looking at 7:30 Central Time, 8:30 Eastern Time, to be able to do a 30-minute basic type thing, and then 15 to 20 minutes after that for people that want more. Because then after we talk about focusing on growing your business in the report card section, then we talk about the benefits of directorship. So then they can decide which training they think they want and then fill out the survey for us. Because they can say, yes, I just want part A, or I want A and B, I want it all, you know, type thing, so that we'll know, you know, kind of what they're wanting to do with that. And so looking at the topics, this is what's on the sheet that you have, but I kind of went through and drafted out, and I try to call things a little different, because instead of calling it bookings and customer care and, you know, the same host coaching, to call them a little bit different things, because the content's going to be a little different, but it's still going to have some of that basic stuff plus some more stuff in there, pulling content out of each of those four things. So whichever topic you decide, I will send you your PowerPoints that you can blend together or whatever to start from. And if y'all don't mind and don't feel insulted, I would love it if you'll give them back to me like several days before, so that we can make sure we're not doing overlap, you know, because sometimes we go down the wrong bunny trail and start talking about, like last time we had overlap on the 5 times that you touch your base with your host. We did it in the host coaching, and we did it again in recruiting. And although repeat is not bad, I would like to try to make sure that it really flows really well. And so, and if y'all don't want to do that, I'm good. And I'll let y'all just take it and run with it. But it's just, I thought, so that we'd have a really good end result. If we could kind of make sure that it all flows and blends would be great.
So let me ask you one quick question because it's just what's glaringly obvious in front of me. We start on 410. We don't do anything again until 424.
That's because of the Hawaii trip. And still, even if we do our first one this week, it's not going to really be the first content thing. And what I thought we would do is that the 4 of us that will be in Hawaii would get online if we can get together. And if not, I'll do it myself on Wednesday sometime and just do a Facebook Live. And we'll give them homework to do from the call on the 10th. And then, you guys can get on and do little snippets or do something, encouraging things on Facebook Live, or y'all could even do a call on Wednesday night if you want to, just kind of a check-in thing, and we can talk about that, or we can bump the dates up earlier if we wanted to do that. But it's like, I just kind of hated, I hated for us to, have 2/3 of us out of town when we do the first one, because I really like being on when my people are on. I mean, Natalie and Molly, how do y'all feel about that?
I agree. I agree.
Oh, crap. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm on 2 different ways because my sound on my computer does not work.
Okay.
No, I think that's a great idea. I think that'd be cool if we could all go on together on the 17th.
I mean, if we can just plan a time to get to, because really 8 o'clock is 3 o'clock over there. If we get together for a few minutes in the afternoon and just go live together, that would be right about the time. Or we can pick a different time, if there's something going on or somebody's on a tour or whatever. So we'll just have to look at it and see. But anyway, the first week's going to be on bookings. The second week will be host coaching. And also, I know, I'm trying to remember, Kara, can you pull up your document you sent me?
On what?
The thing of all the courses blended together. I'm looking, and I may find it here in a second. Yeah. Oh, here it is. Okay, I got it. Okay, so like on this one, what you had recommended, Kara, was to do positivity and believing to take care of the negativity they have after they did the bookings. And I thought, well, why not we put that in that very first call, the first call that we're going to do this Wednesday night, and talk about how important it is to stay positive. And I'm going to need to add that to the one that PowerPoint that I'm going to show y'all in a minute. But to talk about, you're going to get a lot of no's, so they'll know what to expect. So they won't expect the first 5 people they call to all book a party, that it may take them 10 calls to get 1, or even 20 if they're texting people, so that you've got to keep swinging the bat, and so we'll just have to really focus on the positivity on the front end, and then we'll do recon on the next week after that if they're discouraged, rather than doing a whole week on that.
Well, one of the reasons I really wanted to touch on that is because when I first got in, now it's almost 9 years ago, it was 10 to 1, 10 to 1, 10 to 1, and it's not the case anymore at all.
No.
10, 5, that's really
wow. Is there a dinosaur on the call?
No, it was my phone. It's Chewbacca telling me I have a text message. And
okay. Chewbacca. There you go. That's what that is. But yes, that's true. And I think because people don't answer calls and that you can't get people by calling, so we've got to talk about how they're going to make those calls during that wonderful calendar on the 24th, and talk about what to expect. And that's actually probably where the belief stuff needs to be in. It's just talking about having faith in yourself and not getting discouraged, so that they get that. And then the coaching and communicating, what Kara had suggested besides host coaching, was how to market yourself and building your brand. And I think that's excellent to put in there. Nicole wanted that one because she is a host coach freak and wants to do that. In a good way, Nicole. She is a super pumped host coach person. And so we'll just have to talk about the other part. But I think, that we need to make sure that we don't try to pack so much content into here that we can get it in 30 minutes, which is what Kara had suggested. Then the next one, instead of the organizing your calendar, Kara, I decided to move the selling up, because if we got parties booked and we've host coached, we're going to be holding those parties. So we need to do that earlier. So to do in-person and virtual, but to do more later after we finish this first 7-week period, to go into more how different people do their virtual parties and give a lot of detail on that. But we're going to do some in this call, but it's impossible to talk about everything to do with selling in-person parties and virtual parties. but talking about knowing how important it is to know your products and getting on PCU and that kind of thing was what I thought on this one. And then instead of calling the next one customer service or customer care, call it keeping your customers, because that's kind of really what it is. It's like if you don't take care of your customers, they're going to go to somebody else or buy from 10 different people. And so talking about how to keep loyal customers, basically, and I might change the title of that to that, actually. Then the recruiting how-tos, that's just some, recruiting hosts, recruiting customers. So it's just kind of the intro to recruiting. And I'll show you how this pairs up in just a second. Then the systems that you keep you organized and on track, rather than calling that organizing your calendar. It's like it's all about systems, and some of that has to do with calendar. And then the keeping your momentum, kind of pulling everything together at the end. A motivational, you got this, we're halfway through the year almost, and where are you now? And you can still earn the trip kind of thing. And then move into having some weekly speakers for the summer. And then in the fall, pick up with another thing that we have a curriculum for, and we'll come up with it between now and then. Then this is the first 30 minutes of the call. Then the second 30 minutes is rev up your recruiting. So that first, let me go through these first, and then I'll show you how they pair. So developing a prospect list, developing the desire. This is the old inform, invite, interview, but they don't call them that anymore. So now it's creating the desire, inviting people to learn more, and discussing the opportunity. So I put those in parentheses because that's what we know them as, those of us old dogs that have been on for a long time. Then overcoming objections. Couldn't think of a cooler name for that one. And then coach to success, getting new recruits started. And so rather than, calling that, new consultant coaching or host, training or whatever, that we would talk about strategies for being able to get people off to a really strong start. And then tips from top recruiters, and we'll either bring on, see if we can get somebody like Sharon Zellen or somebody like that, or we are top recruiters, we do a whole lot more than they do, and we can have our top best tips on this if we want to do that. But I'd like to have a guest speaker, I think, on that, or maybe snippets, little short videos from several people that are really strong. What do y'all think about that for the last?
I think we could try to get somebody like Sharon Zellen, because or somebody that is one of the best recruiters in our company.
Well, Yvonne Platisha did something for us before, and she may do something again. I figure we can hit somebody up in Hawaii to be able to ask. But here's where it all comes together, because first week we'll talk about wonderful calendar booking, and then what goes right along with that. While you're prospecting for bookings, you prospect for working on recruiting, so that those flow together. Then on the next one, coaching and communicating for party success goes along with creating informing people about, signing up. So it kind of blends a little bit. Selling machine, we're going to talk about inviting people like at the full service checkout, so that's going to blend together for that. How to keep your customers and discussing the opportunity has to do with, customer service and follow up and talking with people and actually going through more in depth of what the opportunity information. Recruiting how-tos, at that point, they're already hopefully going to be doing some recruiting. And so we will ask them to give some of their best things that have worked for them in that first basic part for the recruiting how-tos. And then overcoming objections is going to be over here, where we'll talk in more in depth for people that are doing more heavy duty, heavy hitting recruiting. Then systems to keep you organized flows over to systems for getting those people off to a strong start, and then keeping your momentum, the same thing for the tips from the top recruiters, so that it kind of flows a little bit. They have some connection between the first part and the second part. Okay, does that make sense?
Yes.
And if you have your sheet printed out, I also put in a booking blitz tentative date, a virtual PC look and learn, and then another one that will be for both groups after we do the recruiting thing, so that we'll have 2 look and learns and 1 booking blitz through it. And we can add another booking blitz if we need to. So overall comments about this part before I go on to talking about the get them more in detail.
My only question, and I'm not sure how to do it with you paralleling with the 2 halves, is the recent recruits that I've had were so unorganized, they were overwhelmed very quickly. And that's one of the reasons why I had that a little bit earlier. And I don't know how to flip it, so I'm open for suggestions or ideas. But my thought with the organization being sooner is that they have a system to where they can then be organized and go from there. Because if you do this right, you're busy. And by 6 weeks into this, you need to have a system.
That's true.
So that's the only thing I don't know how to switch around or work with, unless we just kind of hit on some little ideas and then focus later on in depth. Other than that, I think this is fantastic. I think you did a great job.
Well, thank you for your help with getting it together. What about the rest of you guys? What do y'all think? Because I'm thinking we are going to have quite a few new people that will be on here that are fairly new, because we've all been signing up people.
I honestly think if they can know how to get organized or be organized, I think that is really important.
Okay. Enough so that you can move it up to
what are the systems that we're going to be teaching them about being organized? Because I'm still not organized, nor do I have systems.
Well, I'm
just
hoping
saying.
whoever really feels like they have them picks that topic.
That would not be me.
And if not, then we'll have to consult some other people and ask for their best things.
Jennifer Courtney. Courtney.
She does have great systems. But that's what I'm wondering is, so like as a new consultant.
But to me, it's not more important than bookings, because bookings,
but I think that's why I was thinking like bookings and maybe before selling or after selling, and then do the organizing and then going from there. Because once you start you have to know how to track your 25 two-way calls. You have to know how to track your lists and how to work with those. The tickler box is one of my favorite ones. I kind of do a modified version of that. There's color coding your calendars with erasable pens. I mean, there's so many different ones. You said Jennifer Courtney's got some. There's 3-ring binder ideas. I'm just thinking if we get them truly working the way we want them to, and of course are thinking positive that all of them are going to jump in and want to do that, we just need to think of something to bring them along with. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I just think when they get the bookings, if they have bookings coming up really soon, they got to know what to do with those,
Exactly.
Like, that's the reason I did it the way that I did. But
I understand.
Well, and if one of the systems is like a 2-2-2 notebook or whatever, is that something that you could put in
that's going to
quickly with a booking or whatever?
The 2, 2, and 2 was going to go in with keeping your customers on the 15th.
Right.
So, we'll have
so maybe we could take some of those systems and sprinkle it in.
Yeah, we sure could. I mean, because we want to talk about on bookings, you want to put in, how to put those in your calendar and keep up with what your open dates are. So maybe we put that on that.
Yeah, I think keeping them organized from the start and doing it that way would be a lot more helpful to some of these new consultants.
Okay, so what if we put the open dates and calendar on bookings, and then we put about keeping up with the way you using like those host coaching checklists under host coaching.
Right.
That.
I was going to say too, under the one a full calendar, I mean, kind of like the 20, keeping track of your 25 is really all about that.
Right.
Your full calendar. I mean, with the first course we did, that's kind of what has jump started my business is I'm going back and following up with people that I used to drop the ball on and never followed up.
Yeah.
So to me, those go hand in hand.
Okay. Yeah.
I think visiting that whole 25 two-way contact thing again, we need to do it.
Okay. And I think if you do that from the start, that gives them a help into and then each one of these calls have something with that systems that kind of go. And then when you're doing your systems call, kind of overview all the stuff we've touched on, and then bring up 1 or 2 other things that kind of help bring it together. Because then
I think we probably could scrounge through Director Success and find some really good things in there, because I've seen several things recently that I thought were really good. But we could do on the selling part, as far as in doing, organizing, what you're going to take to a live party and how you can keep up with your virtual parties, to do that. Y'all think? I mean, if we put something.
I think Nicole's tip for that though with selling is just making sure you have $1,000 plus that you're talking about. If it's live or virtual, you need to know what you're talking about and what your dollar value is. Mm-hmm. And that's something simple you could throw in for a system for people who are just starting out.
That's right, where you have that 3-ring binder with your calendar, with your catalog in there as well, and your specials and your why.
Yeah.
And if that fits into, that's an easy system and beyond. I've used the same page protectors for the same 9 years. So
couldn't we, sprinkle this stuff throughout, and then when it comes to the systems to keep you organized and on track, couldn't we revisit then again to ask how are you doing with some of these things? So add a component of system organization for each one.
Mm-hmm.
And
I agree with that. Yeah.
And that would be a good time for them to see some examples of people's calendars, like Kara was talking about color coordinating and show them that we all really do that. So,
Okay.
Or digitally, if people do
Or
it digitally,
digitally,
or how many different ways there are to keep organized, because each person's so different.
And actually, if we do it that way, where you're putting a little bit in piece, and then when you do that summary, we'll also be able to ask them the question, what have you tried that's not working, and give them ideas of how to tweak it to make it
Oh, that's a good idea.
And they might come up with some ideas that are incredible. So.
right, versus being completely overwhelmed by that point, and then we've lost them.
Okay. All right. And then on keeping your customers, that's customer care stuff. So keeping up with logs of those, and
The 25 two-way.
And returns, and hitting the 25 two-way. That's going to be we're going to hit that every week, I think.
Yeah, and I have a Excel spreadsheet I'd be glad to share that's a log that I've tracked every return I've ever done.
Yeah.
Holy moly.
Yeah. I might as well paper everywhere.
I have
every one I've ever done that goes back several years.
I found one in my laundry room.
I keep track of all my returns though, but you know how they always send us an email? I just have a folder in my inbox those go to, and if I ever need to refer to it, I just go to that folder.
Yeah, I have them in there too, but they're all called the same thing, and it's really hard to find them, you know?
I am so not organized.
Molly, you're fine, Molly. You're fine. You're fine. Honestly, honey, you've already earned Disney, so you put a shame. Just saying.
Yeah, that was like mind-blowing for sure.
First thing we got to teach them is how to clear out their inbox, because once you become a director, that goes a little wild. I went from
right, Molly. Right,
Molly having a separate.
Hey, I cleaned
on
out.
hers.
I have 35 emails now.
Wow. 3,500. I think, April, another thing is we have to, okay, so we don't want to put too much focus on being organized, because if you think of, well, and I'm sorry, Molly, but you're so creative and you're so good at so many other things, and yet maybe you don't feel like you're very organized. And you also have a culture amongst your team of that very welcoming, and people want to be on your team. So I think that's maybe even more important. You know how they say you don't have to be an expert to do a party. You just go do it. You don't have to be an expert to recruit. Just go do it.
And I think you're right that we don't want to hit on organizing so much that they feel like they can't do it. So
no, just enough to let them not get lost is all I'm saying. Just enough to go, here's an idea, and then here's our topic, or here's our topic, here's an idea, and then we're on to the next thing.
Yeah, and not you have to do this, because I think some people are coming into this business saying, I'm not organized. I really don't think I can do it.
It can even be something we mentioned on a call. If you'd like a way to, or to track this, comment later, and we'll show you some ideas or anything like that.
Yeah.
I just don't want to get to week 6, 7, or 8 and be like, okay, now here's you keep track of what we've had you do for the last.
I totally.
So we'll call that something different.
That's all.
Okay. Now, on the so I think that'll work. I think that's a really good suggestion. Thank you all so very much for the input on that.
April, do we have to create our own PowerPoint?
Well, so I want to show you, and let's just roll on into that, because I'm going to show y'all what I did for the Get the More, and then what we're going to do. I want y'all to pick one thing on the left, one thing on the right. And now the ones that are in yellow on your page, if you printed it out with it highlighted, you'll see which ones are available, except for Nicole took May 1st, communication and coaching, and May 8th, inviting them to learn more. And so the other 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are the ones that I want y'all to choose. And Janelle, I talked to Molly earlier today, and if y'all will do it together so that, we can, just so that we kind of have good flow and everything. And, as we bring on new people that promote to director, we'll want them to work alongside us as well too, just so that we've got, continuity and everything, if that's okay. So if y'all pick one together that y'all are comfortable with, if that's okay. So if y'all need to, talk on here or text each other or, or whatever, is that okay?
Well, I definitely don't want to do organizing with Molly.
Okay.
Shush now. Well, here's the thing. Which is kind of funny, because I'm not available to teach until the 22nd or the 29th, which those are really two things that are not my strong suit, but because I have church until May 15th.
So how many people did you recruit in last month?
10.
I did not recruit 10. I recruited 6, I think.
6. Okay, so that's amazing. And so you do know how to recruit and how to teach the basics of recruiting, unless somebody else really wants that one.
Her and I'll do a recruiting, Molly.
Yeah, because Janelle's really good at recruiting.
Great.
She's good at bringing people in.
Okay, let's do that.
You
Molly
talk.
and Janelle. Okay, and we'll do the left side first, and then we'll do the other side. Okay, so we have left bookings, selling, customer care, keeping your customers, and then the pulling the things together. And we'll have to do some digging for that systems one. I will do one as well. So
I've got an entire PowerPoint presentation on that I can send you to start with because I used it in one of our other ones.
Do you want to do the systems one?
I can.
Which one? I mean, if y'all don't, just tell me which ones y'all want. So.
If no one wants it, I would do how to keep your customers, only because I'm kind of going through a little bit of a hiccup. I don't really know the guy very well, but Steve Josephson has kind of come into my hometown of 1,000 people and recruited 4 people last week. My 4 people that I already have on my team are feeling very discouraged because they're feeling like all their people are taken. So we are blowing up. And just kind of making how to keep our customers. That's our new team focus, and how to make our people want to come to us over other people who may want to sell. So anyways, this has kind of been my life the last 3 weeks. So yeah.
Well, and you know, there are a whole lot more.
With anybody in all of your teams, if you could go out in the next week or next few days and put on your team page that with virtuals being 40% of our business, and I mean, I'm one of them. I'm out there doing shows with people all over God's creation. You are in other people's neighborhoods. And when it kind of comes close to you and your people feel like their business is going to fall and they want to quit, you know, just making them feel confident and comfortable with that they are doing a great job and how to keep moving forward and that they'll be fine. But anyways, so I will take how to keep your customers.
Okay. And
customer service.
So Kara, which one did you want to put you down for? Because that still leaves booking, selling, and organization.
Well, let everybody else pick, and then I can do whatever.
Natalie, what do you
want? I will tell you what I want before anybody else says anything, but do we have to do our own PowerPoint? Because that totally freaks me out.
I'll help you.
I can do it, Natalie.
We'll help you, because it's going to be blending. And actually, I'm going to send y'all the ones that are in here. But if I have time, I will actually do some blending of them first before I send it, and then let you add your special spin on it. Is what
Natalie, even I can do a Zoom. I'll hook you up, girl, like last time.
Okay, but the one that I want to do is bookings fill your calendar.
Great.
However, that's right after we come back from Hawaii.
We'll get it done before we go.
I'm not going to Hawaii.
You'll have a tan. You'll be all tan. You'll be great.
But bookings will be great. That'll be perfect.
I can do it. I just don't know how to do PowerPoint.
Okay, so do you, Kara, do you want to do, because now the selling one, we're going to do in-person and virtual. And virtual is not my forte, but
I mean, I'm happy to talk on that one for the virtual part if no one else wants to, but if others do virtual, I'm fine with you doing that too.
Do you want to do both of those two together? And that way we can you can pull the organization things that you have and then do the virtual, and I'll do the in-person and add to the systems.
Yeah.
Do that? So I think.
Yeah, and if somebody else needs to take the customer one or whatever, that works, that's fine too.
Could I do the bookings with somebody? If they would do a PowerPoint, I will.
Oh yeah,
Natalie, I can do Kara and I will do your PowerPoint while you're in Hawaii. That's how nice
it needs to be done before she goes though, because you get back on what, the Sunday before that Monday?
Well, I get back on Saturday evening, and then I'm doing Easter, and then on Monday I have to close shows, and on Tuesday I have a show, on Wednesday I have a show, Thursday I tell you not Wednesday. I don't have a show on Wednesday.
Okay, so Natalie,
wait a minute. You have a show on the Wednesday?
I do not have a show on Wednesday.
Okay, good. Just keep that. That'll be fine. Why don't I try to do some blending first and then let them work on it and tweak it some more so that we'll have a chance to go over it and look at it. And if you're comfortable with it and you don't feel like they need to tweak it some more while we're gone, then that's fine. And if I want you to feel comfortable with it. And I think
Craig, guys, I have a party on the 22nd. I already had it booked before we decided to do this.
Okay. When do you not? You want to do selling in person and virtual?
I would love to do that, but I'm still at church.
On the 8th.
I don't get home from church until almost 10 o'clock.
Did you book the
29th? Molly, when did you say you could start doing it then?
29th.
Well, I totally... This is not, Wednesdays are not going to be good for me. So my party on the 22nd, I scheduled this for my 1,000.
What time do you get home from church?
I don't get home until like 10 o'clock.
Wow.
She has 27 children, remember?
Yeah.
Well, no, but I have 2 girls that I have to drop off. So by the time I drop them off and get back home. So, crap.
So wasn't she keeping your momentum on the...
I could well, that is not fun to record it.
I think though you would be really good about keeping your momentum because you're like on a high right now.
That one's going to be the keeping your momentum was one that I wanted all of us to kind of do.
Oh.
At the end, the beginning.
Got it.
And more.
Molly, refresh my memory. When are you done with your class? Not time, date.
The 15th is the last church night. But I already have a party scheduled for the 22nd. And the 29th, I was going to do a launch party for my cousin, Evie, who joined.
Okay.
But I'm not one to talk about systems.
Why don't we just let Molly have a pass on this, and if she can add in bits and pieces through online or whatever, that's fine.
I am so sorry. Sunday nights are way better for me than Wednesdays, but
well, and I like them better too. But I mean, it's like I just felt like with as many Monday holidays as we've got coming up,
I understand.
It's gonna be bad through the summer at least,
Yeah. And then we've got after the June 5th when we do our next batch of whatever, we'll just make Molly do all of it. Just kidding.
Well, Janelle, do you feel comfortable taking the recruiting one yourself? Maybe working on it, what you're going to do with Molly before you...
I can help you.
Sure. On the 29th,
Good job, Janelle.
Work out.
The 22nd.
The 22nd, Janelle.
Oh, the 22nd?
Is that good?
Of May.
That should work. Rebecca's coming home the 23rd, so for a week. My daughter.
Sweet.
Okay.
Yeah.
But Janelle, you and I can talk and we can kind of go through.
Okay.
And
I'm so sorry, you guys.
So that's okay.
Oh, it happened.
Fine. That's what I was trying to say. Just don't worry about it. We got you, kind of thing.
Okay.
Okay.
That's all good.
Just point me in the direction of I'll pull it out of director bound or
I'll give you
on my lead material.
I've got a couple of PowerPoints that I'll send y'all to get to use to start with.
Awesome sauce, because I'm like Natalie with the PowerPoint.
We'll get it. Okay, now let's look at the second side of the page, okay? Because we need to pick and you can do the same week you're doing your other one.
Do you have the first slide filled up?
One. Stop it. And so, I mean, I think, Janelle, we need to let you pick which one you can do the most comfortably because of the fact that you're the newer one out of the group.
On the second,
on the right side of the page.
Stop.
And now,
so if we did it the same night you're already talking, you would be overcoming objections. Are you feeling strong about that, or do you want to pick through something else?
Oh, sure. I can do that one.
Okay, but that keeps you on the same night, which is okay.
Okay.
All right. Okay, the rest of you guys pick.
So refresh my memory or my notes on who's doing what on the left side, because I only have Janelle written down.
Okay, so we have Natalie on bookings, Nicole on communication and coaching, Kara and April on selling, Lori on keeping your customers customer care, recruiting is Janelle with Molly's help, and then systems is Kara and April.
Okay. Yeah.
April, did you real quick, April, on number 3, did you say that's me and you? Be a selling machine in person and virtual?
Yeah.
No.
I think it was you, Laura, or Lori.
And in person shows though, but anybody else gonna help me with that?
Kara and I were going to do that. I thought because
okay,
virtual. So you've got May 15th. Okay.
Okay.
But on the right, Nicole picked a different week, and so you guys need to
go put your jammies on
to a different week. But we got left April 24th, May 1st, May 15th, and May 29th. So somebody can call for what they want.
Well, so on the thing that I printed out, I must be missing April 24th. On the bottom
prospect list.
So that's okay.
Oh, it must have printed out weird. See, mine printed out where it's side by side, like this,
and mine's like this.
Oh wow. Okay, you have to turn it to
change it to landscape.
Landscape to make it print out right.
But April 24th is developing your prospect.
Correct. And then creating desire, that's the informing step. And then discussing the opportunity, the interview, and coach to success, getting new recruits started.
I can do April 24th if I'm gonna, I mean, they're each about a half hour. Is that what you said?
Yeah. Second one is a little shorter, 15, 20 minutes.
I will do the 24th.
Both. Okay, got it. All right, who else?
Who wants creating the desire on May 1st?
Who is it?
I like how nobody's answering those questions.
I will do any of it. So I don't really care. What's the one that all of you guys don't want?
I will do overcoming objections on the 22nd if no one took that.
Janelle's got that already.
Oh, got it.
I can do the getting the new recruits started, I guess.
Who says that?
Yeah.
Kara, I said that.
Kara, new recruits. Okay.
Is there any way we could combo up getting the new recruit started and creating the desire?
Two different way apart.
Totally too long?
Yeah, May 1st to May 29th. They're a month apart.
Oh.
Okay, so what are you thinking? Because the creating the desire is just basically talking to people about the opportunity, trying to throw out the net and catch a few fish.
Yeah.
I will keep to match with mine on the 24th. That's not the day I'm doing it.
I think Molly should do May 29th, coach to success, get new recruits started.
Molly can't.
On the 29th?
Molly's not available for any of these.
Oh, you're not.
She doesn't get home until 9 p.m. Central and we'll be finished.
So
okay. Sorry.
Sorry.
So Lori, you're keeping the 15th,
which will be discussing.
I don't have to keep the 15th. I can even do developing your prospects. That's fine. The 24th. Did somebody take that yet?
Yes, Natalie.
Natalie has it.
Natalie did.
Creating the desire and discussing the opportunity. You do one, I do the other, and I don't care.
Well, I would say neither of them are my strong suit. So I'll do the inform. I probably inform better than I actually execute because I don't execute the interview very well.
It's all in the follow-up. All in the follow-up. And getting
Who took tips from the recruiter?
That's all of us.
Oh, okay, that's
or hopefully we can get Sharon Zellin or somebody. We'll try to get somebody when we're in Hawaii. We'll find somebody there and get them to agree. Okay, so I'll put this together. Maybe I'll do it instead of side by side. Well, I don't know how to do it better like this. Just y'all print it out on landscape, and I think it'll print out right. And if it doesn't, I'll do the top part, bottom part.
I can print it out as a PDF and send it to you so it's not changeable.
There you go. That's what I'll do. That is what we'll do. Okay. All right. After I add the names. Okay. This is what I put together. I'm going to go through it really quickly, but this is what I put together for us to do this Wednesday. Okay. So it's a tweak on the get the more you're looking for that we used before, and what more do you want from your business is what we have on there. So talking about that we invited them to participate in this training because we see potential in them, and that we really want them to jump on board and take benefit of all the training that we're going to have available. And so first of all, we want to talk about how satisfied they are with their current business. And we're going to look at each of these next things on the next upcoming slides. So first we have, are you ready to grow? We're going to spend the next 6 weeks, and maybe that's a little out of this needs to go in before the other one. But in the first week, explore what your business could be, how you could change your numbers, who can help you, why you might want to be looking at moving your business to the next level. And so then to identify where you need to grow, we're going to do our own report card and score yourself honestly based on how your current business is going. And I'll have some kind of a scale for them to use from just to jot it down on paper and tell them we're going to send them a survey for them to send it back confidentially so they don't have to out themselves right here on the thing. Now I did put in here by December, but I wondered if we ought to put by national conference. What do y'all think about that? So. You think conference?
If we're trying to score
is the goal.
Yes. Kara?
We're trying to score them so we know how to help them through the next 6 weeks.
Yes. You want to put that?
You don't want it by December. You don't want it by conference. You want it in like 10 days.
Yeah.
Because otherwise
but I mean, they're not going to change their show average in 10 days. You know, it's like maybe by the end of this, you know, by the 1st of June, maybe.
Right, but scored by your current business. Where are you at right now, and how do you want help? Then we could always do another one later to see how they've grown from this class.
Okay. But, you know, for those that are wanting to really work on directorship, I want them to do it by conference. We want them all to walk, right?
Well, Bridget, that's not your business checkpoint. That's for a different part than this first.
That's true.
Stop. Why?
Okay, now let me go here. Okay, so then if you could change your business, what would it look like for you? Your show calendar. How many shows? And Kara, you fixed me a thing but didn't send it to me, so I had to make up my own. And I just took a number 8 clip art. So how many shows would you like to hold every month? How many live shows? How many virtual parties? So that we can get them thinking about that and talking about how well people are doing company-wide that do both, and that it's a really good blend, you know, but if they are one or the other, that's perfectly fine too. And then your show attendance, how many people actually come, and tell them how to look that up if they don't know. But they'll know off the top of their head what their average number of people that get on their virtual parties are versus how many that they invite. And so what would they like for their average attendance to be on both of those? What's their show average? And what's the company show average? I couldn't, is
it $5.99?
Do what?
$5.99.
Mm-hmm. I thought they recently said it was $650 for a virtual.
I think it's $650.
And then $500 for virtual was what the last I got, I think. I heard that on one of the director calls just recently, I think. So I think this is right. But just, you know, what do you want your show average to be? And so that they can do that. Average order, I have no idea what the average order is company-wide. Do y'all know?
No.
Maybe we take that off then, because I really don't know. I'll try to get it. Maybe I can get it from Judy Joel or somebody that has easy access.
You think it's probably 75 because people want the free item?
I don't think it's that high.
I don't think it's that high because they always are trying to push us.
I thought it was like 50 or 55 is what I thought it was, but I don't know what it is for virtuals.
I bet you could ask Judy.
Yeah, I'll check with Judy and see. Okay, and then commission check, and you know, what is it, how much you want it to be, and what would you, you know, if you had that extra money, what would you do with it, kind of thing, so that we can be able to figure out what their why is more of what they would do with their money, so we can use that for coaching them. Maybe change this up a little bit and just say, what is your commission check, where you want it to be, and then put this on the next slide. Then your recruits, how many people have you helped get started? How many more do you want to add to your team? Are you sharing the business at all? You know, because some people are not. And you want to learn how, just basically so we can identify who wants to learn more about recruiting. And then have they ever thought about directorship? And, you know, are they curious about it? And just then jump into what, you know, if you think you might be interested, we just want to share this with everyone so that if you've never thought about it, we're planting a seed now for you to see. You can make more money, and here are some of the things that you will get as some of the perks. And then this is, you know, just kind of a picture view of that. So it shows them what kinds of things they get. And I think everything on here is still accurate. I looked at it pretty closely to see if there was anything that looked wrong. And I think it's still good, except for the pictures of new products are kind of old, but it's all good for that. And then why would you want to be a director? Talking about the warm fuzzy part of being a director, and then having fun as a director team. And so I put some pictures that I got from some of you guys today. If you've got other ones you want me to add, just text it to me and send it to me and let me know. But I love these pictures. I think they're really good. I absolutely love the ones of all of y'all from conference. They're great. Really awesome. And then talk a little bit about, for those of you that are new, you have the option of fast track, and just going over what that is. For those of you guys that are not new, you know, you still are going to get lots of really awesome stuff. So, you know, don't be discouraged with that. But if you're if you're even brand new, you need to think about this. If there's money on the table. This I got from Charlotte and a guy, and it's a little bit old, but I like the fact that it shows the percentage of raise that you're basically giving to yourself versus what usually people get in corporate America. If they're lucky, they get 3 to 4% a year. Most people don't even get that. More like 2 or nothing if you're in healthcare. And so, I mean, I can take this off or change it to something else. What's y'all's opinion about this slide? Because it showed when she first started, her first month, she got $882, and then just by really building her business and signing up people and promote to director, she was making about $3,500.
I don't know if I would say in corporate America, because my husband is in sales and my daughter is in sales and my son is in sales, and they all do quite well depending on how hard they work.
Okay, but people that have regular full-time jobs.
But like for me, I have a job outside of this, and let's just say it was a struggle for us to get 2.39 this year, and we haven't had raises in 3 years.
Yeah.
Right.
I have staff that have worked for me for 3 years and have never had a raise.
We won't say corporate America. How about we just say you have a regular full-time job?
Non-sales positions don't get raises like you can with sales.
True.
That's what I would. That's
okay. That's good. That's good. All right. And then y'all know these slides that came out of the little booklet that we used to give people about getting started, and just talking about the perks of being a senior consultant and a team leader. You know, even if that's where you start, and do that, and just see how much difference it can make, and how much and the different ways you can become a director, so they don't all have to be yours. And then talking about, you know, moving up and how that happens with promoting other directors on your team, and how you have all of these things plus now. And I don't think the car allowances are on this. 500, 700, and 900 at these 3 levels. So I don't think that's even on here. But, you know, just talking about, you know, that you can, the sky's the limit, basically, no glass ceiling. And how you get to what you have to get to director, and just talking about imagining growing with us. So what's your why for maybe thinking about doing this? And I might move that back to that other place where I was talking about what they would do with their extra money and so forth. And then just say that as directors, that our goals are to become executive director teams. Is that true across the board? All you guys want to be an executive director, right? Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes. Okay. I'm seeing nods. So we're going to leave that like that is. And how can we support you in getting the more that you are looking for? So we have a Boost Your Business track that's the first 30 minutes of the calls. And we're going to be focusing on helping you do all of these things. So one of the things I want y'all to think about as you put your PowerPoint together is that you are pulling in some things from this, so that when we're talking about selling, we're going to talk about increasing that per person order and the show attendance and those kinds of things. Host coaching, the show attendance again goes there. And, you know, the commission earned, talking about, you know, add-ons at the checkout, and, you know, cross-selling and stuff like that, so that we're going to hit all of these things so that people can get a stronger business. And then if they say, you know, I want more, I want it all, then you want to stay on after the first 30 minutes for about another 15 or 20 minutes more that will help you to promote to director or start to build your team and start moving in that direction. And this is the way to help get back on track for Disney really, really fast, so that you can be able to do that. So, and then just who's ready to commit, you know, and we're going to have the survey link, and I'll have it probably in here, and then we'll post it on our page as well, that will say, you know, do you want, you know, to the first part of the training or both? And just see what they want. And then as a team, we're going to work together to be able to let everybody reach their dreams and their goals. And so it's going to start on the 24th. It will be coming to you from Hawaii on the weekend between that. And if you have any questions or anything, then that Kara and Lori and Janelle will be working. Janelle, you didn't earn Hawaii, right? No, not this year, right? Okay, so the 3 of y'all will be home. If y'all can monitor what people are asking and stuff as they're doing that, just so that we can kind of keep on track with that. But just saying that these are some of the things that we'll be celebrating your promotion to director when we get through, and just, you know, are you in? What do you want? Sky's the limit. And then we'll go from there. So what other thoughts do y'all have? Do you think this is a format that's going to work okay? Do I need to overhaul it, or just make a few tweaks, or what?
One thing that comes to mind is what is our answer to the question, can I just do the second half?
I think they can if they get,
I think people should have to do the beginning to do the second half, only because if we're recording this and you have a bunch of people coming and going, it could be very disruptive.
Oh, that's true. Well, and you know, the thing is, basically, if they're recruiting people, they need to go, they're still needing to build their calendar, and they're still needing to get their show average up. They need to still be adding to what they're doing. So I think maybe, I mean, I'm good with requiring it. What do y'all think? Because I think it would be very interesting with the ding dong going on all the way through.
It's someone to just hang up and leave than to have people coming and going.
Yeah.
And like you said, I think they need that refresher to keep themselves accountable and keep it in anyway. But
well, and helping the people that they're bringing on board too.
Yep.
So, okay, good point. What else? Questions, comments?
The Diggin Deeper for Disney schedule. We know it's on Wednesdays. Did you put something on there at all? Has anybody put anything?
I don't know that we did. I don't know that we did.
I can create a Canva to put on there.
Let's do that ASAP, especially if it starts this Wednesday.
Yeah.
I don't know if my people will be able to attend.
Well, technically they've got 2 weeks notice, because this is the jump start. They can watch it whenever. The next week they're on Hawaii, everyone's in Hawaii, and the week after that's when we get started. So technically they'll get 2 weeks notice, even if they can't make this Wednesday.
Yeah, just tell them this is the intro, telling them what we're going to be doing, and letting them, kind of assessment of your own business type thing. Whatever you want to put in there.
So you said you're going to create a Canva, Kara?
Yes,
Okay. Is there any type of, should we do an invitation for those that we want to have added to? Because we're adding more people to it, right?
Yeah, we're going to need to do something on each of our pages too. Kara, can you put something together for that too? That's just sort of a, we're
invitation.
What I will create will work for both, where you guys can each put it on your page to get people to come to it, and then it'll be on our page as well, and then we can add info from there.
So when we put it on our page, we need to say, you need to let me know so I can add you so that you'll be able to get on,
Correct.
right?
Correct.
Okay.
Thank you, Kara.
You're welcome.
All right. Well, hopefully this is all going to come together. So it's like I've been trying to fit this in around all the other things that I've been doing. So Kara, I really appreciate your legwork that you did on it too. Really helped a lot.
And just to reiterate what April was saying, just because a couple people asked questions afterwards that made it sound like they weren't quite sure. Each week of this, April's going to be sending you a PowerPoint presentation that's her idea of melded, mended, or blended PowerPoint pages from all these different programs that we went through. And then you take it from there and add your extra stuff to it, or go, yeah, that works for me, I'm good. But that way you have a chance to familiarize with it. If you make
the problem with Boost Your Business and Rev Up Recruiting is that there are no PowerPoints for those. They're doing live videos. And so I'm trying to stay caught up watching the ones from Rev Up Your Business, Rev Up Your Recruiting, so that I can build some in. But there's like a participant handbook and a accountability partner handbook. And
Right.
So we'll be pulling some of the things out of those that are not in PowerPoint. That's what I'm going to try to look at, and at least add a topic at the top, and then you can build your own content in the bottom kind of thing. Natalie, I'll try to do more on yours. So, and Janelle, because y'all don't,
If you can't,
I can help with Janelle's.
Okay, and yeah, that's right, because you got really good main PowerPoint skills, so that's good. And Molly, are you an accountability partner for somebody in Rev Up Your Recruiting?
Not right now, no.
I am.
I am too. It's like I was wondering, because I've got the curriculum saved on my computer and could send it to you.
Well, I am, and I'm actually doing it. So I actually have the workbook, and I'm going through it that way because I figured I needed extra help anyway. So
yeah, that's excellent.
Between the three of us, we should be able to pull some extras out.
Yeah, I think we will. Okay, I'm going to update the schedule of who's speaking and try to make it where it's a little easier to read. Maybe make the font a little smaller so it doesn't bleed over into the next column. And
you and I need to connect on that, and then I'll make it a PDF so that everybody else has it.
Yeah, I can save it as a PDF. It'll be fine, and I'll post it on our Facebook chat thing that we're doing. When I get through getting that together here in a few minutes before I forget, and then I'm going to go in and make the changes before I forget for this Wednesday. And Kara, as soon as you can send your thing out, then we got that, and then we'll work on. Then the next thing I'll be working on Natalie's. But I'll go in and send stuff to you guys that are tech savvy with our PowerPoint, so you can start working on yours now if you don't have to wait. Okay.
Okay.
All righty.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, April.
Well, let's see how it goes. And then we, the last time that Nicole and I did, where we had guest speakers, everybody we asked said yes. We just said, we are home office direct and we don't have a lot of people to be able to help us. Will you? And everybody said yes. The top people in the company said yes.
Yeah,
so that's what I want to do this time too, that we may have some of them come back. I know that there's a couple of people, old dogs like me, like Eileen O'Haron, that just started doing virtuals, and Dee Weir that just started doing virtuals for people that have been not doing virtuals, that I'd love to get both of them on as speakers to see what they're doing. Because they're having
absolutely, and they're home office direct too.
Yeah, and Dee recruited 15 virtual people in March.
Crazy.
I don't know if I've ever recruited a virtual person.
And Eileen has $1,000 show averages for her virtuals.
Yeah, we need to know what they're doing.
Sweet.
Both people that don't do shows virtually and people that do. We all need to hear what they have to say. So it's like I'm making a list in my head, and y'all just come up with. If you think of other people, just text me and tell me, and I'll put them on my list, and then we'll hit up as many people over in Hawaii as we can.
Yeah.
And the other ones
to do a social media that she did at Lead.
Who?
It was Stacia
Smiley.
I don't know if we can get the field development directors to do stuff for us.
No,
so much training.
That was a really good, informative.
The marketing one.
Leads, and I don't know if you guys saw it.
Yeah, so the one that would be wonderful to ask for that is Colleen Finley.
Yes.
She has a huge following.
We had her do one for us before, and we can get, because she does have that really neat thing that she does on like Instagram and all that.
The dish and dash, whatever. Yeah.
Okay, now Seisha's topic was what, Janelle? Say it again.
Social media, what to post, how not to do the guilty post, what's a good post, what's a bad post.
Well, maybe at least she would share her PowerPoint with us if she won't do it.
I actually took a lot of pictures of it, so
yeah.
I have a lot of the information. It was, show up on your page every day, what to post, when to post it, and how just good social, how to find contacts on your Facebook. I've done actually some things on it for my team page, and they've all told me it's helpful hints.
So let's ask her if she'll share it, and if not, then send those pictures to one of us that does PowerPoint, and we can just take them off the pictures and do it that way. But if she will give it to us, that saves us all that time.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah.
And if she would do it, that would be even better. I wonder, I've never asked Judy Joel to do something for us, but she might, since she knows that we're, all home office direct people, and she might do something for us too, so we can ask her.
She'll do it for Molly.
So.
Shush.
Loves Molly.
That's awesome. Yeah, she loves Molly.
She does.
All right, got it. But yeah, if y'all have any other ideas, call me and let me know, and I'll put that on the list too. All right. So are we good? Are y'all good to roll with what we got?
Yeah, thank you so much.
This will be a really good transition time for the spring. This is a super busy time of year. And I think if we did it on Sundays, we would also have a lot of obstacles. We're going to have obstacles on Wednesdays. We'll have to watch in recorded view, from that. And, I'm sorry. I hate that. But, we can't make everybody happy.
We'll never catch everybody.
Yeah. So anyway, so we'll do our best. And then, like I said, this summer we'll roll with having people on as guest speakers and get as many people on as we can. And I think we'll need to stay on Wednesdays for that, because Sunday nights, people are going to be gone for weekends a lot, I'm afraid, And I think summer, it's, catch where catch can. And then, like I said, after Labor Day, we'll jump into something really strong, and maybe they'll have come out with something else that we can borrow. And if not, we'll create something else ourselves. So, okay.
Awesome. Sounds
all right.
Good.
All right. Thank y'all. If you'll stop the recording, Kara, and